the table so hard. Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony here with you. And OKC most certainly rolling. We talk about them showing up and showing out in waves, and it seemed like they got it done a lot with their depth. Chet Holmgren, remember, he had 18 points at halftime, and he was leading all scorers and really didn't stop there. But he was kind of the tone setter a little bit offensively.
Yes, he was, rightfully so, because they had a game plan to slow down SGA, and I think he did a great job of just being active and being in position for SGA and finishing around the rim, clogging the gaps up, you know, altering shots. He was all over the place. He's had his imprint on this game, which I expected him to be because he's such a talented player and such a have versatility to do a lot of things on both ends of the basketball court.
And when you have a guy like that, and you have a point guard like Shea who his willingness to get off the ball, accepting the double team. It took him a while to figure it out, 7 turnovers, but second half, the ball was moving. They got every shot they want. Chet or the big understood, if I just slash in the middle at the free throw line or into the paint, I get every shot I want, and that's why he had such a good game.
Well, I'm glad we're talking about Chet because apparently he's ready to go. Big-time friend of the show. The first interview we ever did on NBC was in OKC. It was the post-game interview with Chet Holmgren. Thank you so much for joining us, buddy. It was a good one. We just caught you on the floor and we're like, come over here. Let's talk about you leading your team in scoring for the first time in your playoff career. Just walk me through what was working for you offensively.
Just keeping it simple, reading the game and what it was giving me. You know, they were showing a lot of aggressive coverages to Shea, and he did a great job of making the right play, getting off it early. So, you know, it was on us to be aggressive and make plays out of that.
Check this, T-Mac. This obviously a game where you guys didn't have your high-power offense where you're putting up a lot of points. Talk to us about if there was somebody watching you guys for the first time, what would you tell them about OKC basketball?
Where do I start? You know, we're a fun team. We love to play together, and you know, we try to have each other's back out there and trust each other to make the right play, and you know, trust what happens from there. And then you know, we kind of like to be physical on defense, climb up in you, make you uncomfortable, and we saw some of that tonight. You know, we'll see some more shots go down, you know, as we kind of get our legs back under us, but we got the job done.
Chet, VC here. For you individually, what did you want to accomplish tonight for your team?
Yeah, just be aggressive on both ends. You know, be aggressive on the glass, be aggressive with my touches. I feel like I did a good job of that. You know, I think I had 20-something on mostly bunnies, missed all my middies. But, you know, when those start going down, you know, it's going to be a good day. So just got to trust the work and, you know, keep being aggressive, keep taking them.
Chet, with J-Dub out, your role expands. That means more touches, more responsibility, more attention from defense. Like, how do you balance staying aggressive offensively while still anchoring the defense in the way that OKC won?
Yeah, I think same thing as what I said when I first got on the interview, just, you know, reading the game. You know, over the course of the game, if you work hard, be aggressive to get open and, you know, find opportunities, the game's going to give you opportunities. We saw that tonight, and you just got to be aggressive when it comes out to you. You know, I don't think too much has to change no matter who's in and out of the lineup. We saw it a lot this year. We just have to keep playing our brand of basketball.
Love it.
Chet, when you were growing up in Minnesota, did you ever imagine that you'd be in a playoff series against LeBron James and the Lakers at some point in your professional career?
Maybe with him coaching or something. I don't know. But, you know, that was a long time ago, and he's still at it. So you know, it's fun. It's fun to go at it, you know, with great players, and he's one of them. So.
Yeah, well, you're a great player too, Chet. We appreciate you showing up, being a part of the show. Chet Holmgren led his team in scoring, rebounds, and blocks tonight.
Get some rest, youngin.
Friend of the show. Yeah,
yes,
go hop in the ice bath if you want to do it till you're 41 years old, because you're only 24. You got some time, buddy.
I don't know if my knees can last that long, but
it's possible, baby. It's possible. Anything is possible. It's funny, though. It's just fun to watch this young OKC team, always energetic. And even when, and you heard Shea kind of saying it a little bit earlier, like it doesn't have to be perfect from him. If he has to find a way to distribute because the double team is coming, he can do that. Remember when we talked about A sides and B sides?
Yeah.
It seems like they have several different sides and identities that they can turn to if need be.
They do. They have a Shea identity. They have a J-Dub identity, a Shea and J-Dub identity. They have a Chet identity. And then they have a defensive team out there that has an identity. That's too many identities for you to go at, of each night and try to figure out or try to stop or try to game plan for that. It's very hard. We watch this game. Very, very difficult to get a shot, to be efficient, to figure out how OKC scrambling, where they scrambling from. Offensively, if you double team, they wasn't double teaming Shai. I just want to clear that up. They was just shadowing him. They was shading him, sending two people, making him see two people. So it wasn't a real double team.
Right.
But that's easy. It wasn't an aggressive double team. So it's easy
corral.
to a corral.
There you go.
It's easy to pass out of those corrals. And now you got guys who are willing to make plays, willing to be the quarterbacks out of that pick and roll. You got guys cutting who understand the offense, understand the system. This series right here, man, is wow. All I gotta say is wow.
It's following kind of what we saw during the regular season, VC. We talked about the margin of victory that OKC had. It just seems like they have the Lakers.
And that's it. But, we talked about the Lakers needed to play perfect basketball, and they cannot turn the ball over. They averaged 18 turnovers, and they had 18 turnovers tonight. And it's unfortunate because your defense forced 7 turnovers on Shai. So it gives you that opportunity that you want to kind of get extra possessions. That's what we talk about, turning OKC over, extra possessions on the offensive glass, which they won that as well. And you just don't have enough because they find, you don't have the scoring. But then OKC, like you said, they have multiple ways to score. And once their defense, their offense figured it out, they got all the shots they wanted. And then their defense stepped up, which now got them transition shots. So, like, OKC is, you have to play perfect to beat this team.
It's just, they're just such a superior team. And, they could go deep in their roster. And I told you, like, guys coming off their bench and the starters get their rest, there's no drop-off.
So they played 10 people today.
They played
10 players scored in double figures.
There's no drop-off in energy, attention to detail, and how they want to play. Like, the bench, some of the bench guys can actually be their starter. That's how well they play. And when you talk about, multiple guys being able to get their own shot, OKC has that. The Lakers do not have that, right? And that is an advantage for OKC because you just keep coming with guys, that can get their own shot. Casey Wallace can get his own shot.
Isaiah
Joe. You see what Jared McCain did. He came and hit 2 threes. So, the Lakers, I thought, had a great game plan, obviously keeping it close throughout the game. But when the fourth quarter comes, that's when, you got to be perfect. You gassed. And
they have one more gear. They have one more gear. And I meant 10 players actually scored, 4 in double figures. So some adjustments will have to be made. JJ Redick, though, he can make some, and he's meeting with the media right now, stepping up to the podium.
JJ, I'm sure you have to go back and watch, but where do you think the turning point or kind of key difference was tonight?
I don't think there was a turning point. I think it was a general theme throughout the night. When we made game plan mistakes, they hurt us. I thought the Houston Game 5 was the most game plan mistakes we made in a playoff game so far. We obviously lost that game. You're playing the world champs. Your margin for error in terms of mistakes. Basketball's a game full of mistakes. There's just too many tonight. We got to clean that up. But there were some good things. We won expected score. Held Shai under 20. He ended up with 7 turnovers. The guys played hard. We just got to do a better job with execution. It comes down to just the attention to detail on that, and I know we'll clean things up and be better.
Did you find the execution errors to be primarily offensive or primarily defensive?
Primarily defensive. There were some things we did offensively that weren't necessarily what we had talked about. Sometimes, ran a set and didn't do what we're supposed to do. But I mean, that always is going to happen. I think the game plan defensively, when whether it was a coverage thing or Shai coverage, it just seemed like every time we didn't execute, they hurt us. And then the other point of that was, when they did get an offensive rebound, they absolutely killed us. We didn't do a good job of building back out on the offensive rebound.
There was a report that Jed Vanderbilt suffered a full dislocation of his finger. How is he doing?
I just talked to him. He's in as good a spirits as you can be in this situation. Obviously frustrated with what happened.
In that moment, just like, I don't know, can you just sort of describe the amount of pain he seemed to be in? I mean, from where we were sitting, it looked like.
Yeah, it looked. I went to go check on him because it just looked bad. I mean, he was audibly screaming, and knew he'd done something. So we're obviously disappointed that happened, and it's a freak injury.
JJ, could you talk about sort of like the job that the guys did on Shea, and then obviously like you said, held them under 20, and they still, outplayed you guys or outscored you guys by that much. Is that just sort of a testament to their incredible depth?
Oh no, I mean, look, I think when we did our Shea execution, we did a good job. The rotations out of that weren't always great. They got good players. They shot 16 for 28 on non-paint twos. Again, we did some good things. I'm not that 108-90 doesn't matter to me. We lost a game.
AR obviously didn't have his typical kind of a night. Is this just refining his rhythm after being out for a month, or what kind of do you make of that?
Yeah, he didn't play well, but he's going to bounce back. He's a great player.
You guys held them to 108. I mean, I'd say that probably would be well below their season average, their postseason average. Where do you think you can generate more offense in this series?
We got to make shots. I mean, we got to make shots. 10 for 30 from 3. Austin goes 3 for 16. Thought Luke's passed some really good looks down early. Then don't turn the ball over. We had 10 turnovers in the second half. I mean, that's the other part.
There's that third quarter stretch, and I think Austin gets an open 3 in the wing, misses what it could have to 3, and then they go down and kind of get the 6-point swing and then a steal. Is that with just how potent OKC is, or those margins? How difficult to contain are those bursts?
Yeah, we hung around all night. I think we did a good job managing their runs. The game never felt out of reach to the very end. So we managed their runs.
JJ, what did you think about kind of the shot quality that you guys were able to generate?
Again, we won expected score, so it was good enough to win.
And then you mentioned Luke kind of passing out some shots. I know you're constantly kind of trying to encourage him to take some of those open shots. Like, what do you kind of tell him now in the postseason to try to get him to take some of those that you...
Same message that he's heard from me every single day.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Coach. All right, the adjustments will be made for game semis. The Cavaliers, the Cavs have lost every series since 2023 when they lose game 1, and have won every series that they win game 1. Now, Donovan Mitchell, he joined the team in 2022-23 season. James Harden, though, he's only been on the team for 34 games, and he now has 43 turnovers through 8 of them. Let's hear from him afterwards.
That's great.
Do you think these turnovers are something that are correctable?
Yep. 1,000,000%.
And what do you think?
Some of them are, like Don just said, you look within first, and you look at my turnovers, and a lot of them were just on me and nothing they did. So, and which led to I don't even know how many transition points they had, but it was way too many. And I mean, if I had to put my print on one thing on the game, that's the game right there. I mean, how many points they had in transition? Off our turnovers?
20,
there you
31.
Go. That's the game. Like, it's nothing else. Like we talked about last year, you get a shot on glass, even half of that, and it's a different ball game. So, for me, I got to be better, and I will be better turning the basketball over. From turning the basketball over, getting shots up, and then it gives our defense a chance to get back and get set. I think we did it. Other than that, we played a pretty solid game.
So basically, James Harden speaking to the strength of Detroit, and you guys talked about it before, the defense. They turned the ball over 19 times. They saw Detroit score 31 points, and they were able to build confidence. They were able to go on runs, and that was ultimately the difference in this game.
And here's another stat. Of the guard play, they had 14 turnovers.
Okay.
So Donovan had 3, Schroeder had 4 to go alongside. So you're not going to give yourself a chance. They can score. We understand that. We know that Cleveland's very capable of scoring, and James Harden is the catalyst behind that. He's put their bigs in positions to score. He opens up he opens up threes for them. But if you're turning the ball over, you put yourself at a disadvantage against a very good defensive team, which you don't want them to play in transition. And you're climbing uphill if you do so. And I love to hear the fact that James Harden understands that he needs to clean that up, or they won't win this series.
Yeah, he can't turn the ball over. It's just as simple as that. I think at times he get too careless with the basketball, and he make lazy passes at times. For me, James he has to stop playing with the ball and just go. Make 1-2 moves, get past the man, make a play, make them rotate. Every time you tween, the court is shrinking, is shrinking.
All eyes on you.
All eyes. I would love to see him just make a move, get downhill. His floater started working in the second half. I think he had like 13 or 15 or something in the third or fourth. Like, that's the James Harden. Get downhill, make plays. Don't give Detroit an opportunity to sit in the passing lanes and load up.
That's where I was going, Mel. With James, it's about just being intentional on what you want to do. I think, being on the perimeter against a great defensive team and you're playing with the ball, trying to get your rhythm and ISO ball, they don't need that from you, right? Get downhill, put pressure on the defense like you did in the fourth quarter, use your runner, your floaters to draw the defense in. Now you get down there and start making your plays, but we don't need you dancing out at the top of the key trying to get your game off.
Yeah, especially against a very good defensive team.
Because Detroit is not a great offensive team. And when you turning the ball over 19 times, you giving them extra opportunities to be great.
31 points.
Right? And they're not that great. So take care of the ball, and y'all give yourself a chance to win in game 2.
Yeah, you played right into their hand.
Absolutely.
They were waiting for it. Like, that's what we needed from you. Donovan Mitchell, he ended up with 20 in this one. It's like the first time that he's not had 30 points in a game 1. Do you think that he was maybe deliberate enough or was attacking enough? Did you get what you needed to see from him offensively?
Sometimes you just run into a team that just plays great defense on you. He's a great offensive player, obviously scoring 9 30-point games in game 1. Like, this dude can score the ball. You just run into a team that actually game plan for you and have the personnel to slow you down.
And a coach who knows you.
And a coach that knows you,
very
right?
well.
But also, when you turn the ball over, that takes away the opportunity for him to score. He had 3 turnovers, but James getting 7 turnovers, Donovan doesn't even get a look at a shot. So a lot of things that I think played into him not being able to score 30.
You just can't give up. You can't give up 31 points off of turnovers.
Right.
And on the road.
What we talked about, who I said need to play well for them to win this game.
DJ.
Tobias?
No. For
Cleveland?
No, for Cleveland. Strus, right?
Yeah.
Strus he came off the bench and gave you 19 points. When you get that type of activity off your bench, that production off your bench, man.
But Jared Allen gave you 2.
Yeah, because he
was in foul trouble. He had 3 fouls in the first quarter.
We talked about that no pregame. He said Jalen Duren's coming in this game aggressive, and he put the pressure on those
one
guys.
of them guys.
He's in foul trouble. He's foul prone. So.
And he got him because remember, Jared Allen was coming off that 22-point, 19 rebound game that got them over the hump in Game 7 against the Magic. All right, tomorrow it's going to